In last two episodes of SNA, we have mentioned news related to recent developments in and around field of electronics in India. In today's episode, we will continue our discussion in the very same thread, so stay tuned till the end of the video. Many years back, when I was doing my MSc project in some national research institute under DAE, that is Department of Atomic Energy, I overheard a conversation of some scientists and professors that India has missed the device bus. There is not much left to do in the field of semiconductor and India cannot be a leading contender globally. Obviously, that conversation was quite disheartening for a semiconductor aspirant like me. Later on, when I joined semiconductor industry, the vibe was quite similar. After long 15 years, recently some news are coming which indicates that mostly this scenario is changing and we can hope a lot more good news will come to us in this context. Recently, while addressing a parliamentary consultative committee attached to the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Union Minister for Electronics and IT, Sri Ashwini Vaishnaw, said that there has been growing interest from global companies to make semiconductors in India after Centre announced a Rs 76,000 crore policy for the sector. He also added that Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Tamil Nadu are in talks with prospective investors. The government said previously that it had received 5 applications for investments into semiconductor fabs and display units in India, totaling $20.5 billion. Increased investments into semiconductors come at a time of higher demand for connected devices and new technologies such as 5G. While inaugurating India's very first conference on semiconductor, that is Semicon India 2022, Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi said, "We have earmarked $10 billion for India's semiconductor mission and are creating an environment that encourages growth to create a vibrant semiconductor ecosystem and steer India into the future." The conference aligns with the larger national narratives such as Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat and is pitched as the launchpad to India's semiconductor mission. During the conference, few memorandum of understanding, that is MOU, were inked. 1. MOU signed between SEMI and Elsina to promote semiconductor ecosystem in India. Number 2. MOU between CDAC and Qualcomm for partnership in semiconductors, which will target semiconductor design startups in line with the objectives of PLI scheme. And number 3. MOU between AICTE and SEMI and ISM for training and skilling tech workforce for the semiconductor sector. According to experts, COVID-19 pandemic exposed India's heavy import dependencies on semiconductor and chips, and electronics and IT industry face the consequences of this shortfall. The crisis highlighted the need for being self-reliant in terms of manufacturing semiconductor and chips in India. In the maiden year, 10 select semiconductor startups will be trained under Qualcomm Semiconductor Mentorship Program, that is QSMP. The program will include workshops, mentoring and masterclasses offered to the budding startups. These sessions will cover testing, design, verification, packaging, non-technical areas, government regulations and policies, among a range of topics. Israel-based ISMC Analog Fab Private Limited has announced an investment worth Rs 22,900 crore towards manufacturing plant, and India is all set to establish its first semiconductor manufacturing unit in Karnataka, which will create almost 1,500 jobs. On 1st May, Sri Vaishnaw tweeted, "Karnataka government and ISMC Analog Fab have signed an agreement to build India's first state-of-the-art semiconductor plant worth Rs 22,900 crore, that is $3 billion, in the presence of our Honorable CM B.S. Bommai Avaru. This would mark state's grand entry onto world semiconductor map." Well, all these news and developments create a positive stir amongst common semiconductor professional and enthusiasts like us. Now let's see what industry experts are saying. According to Ajay Chaudhary, who is HCL co-founder and a member of the newly formed advisory committee that will provide necessary guidance to the India Semiconductor Mission executives, is very optimistic about all these developments. According to him, India's manufacturing push, backed by favorable policies, is timely and positions the country country strongly to grab a massive opportunity in the electronics hardware space amid COVID-induced supply chain disruptions and global trust deficit around China. He also exuded confidence that India can emerge as a reliable partner for the world when it comes to hardware production and chip making. He also added the world is looking for alternatives in this situation where supply chains are becoming very difficult and India can emerge as a reliable partner because we are recognized like that. In India, electronic goods accounts for the second largest imports after petroleum products, and PM Modi is working hard to cut down the import bills. Honorable Prime Minister has also tasked the IT Ministry to work on a mission mode to bring self-sufficiency in the critical semiconductor space. In recent years, India has taken significant strides in Make in India manufacturing of smartphones, television sets, and now the time has come for it to become a reliable global source for semiconductor chips as well. While the central government gets the semiconductor global giants to explore setting up bases in India, the state governments will have a critical role to play in executing the mission on the ground by quickly giving the necessary clearances besides land in the industrial park so that India truly becomes a reliable partner in the global supply chain. Again, we are concluding this episode of SNA with lot of hope and we'll be back with more news. Till then, stay tuned, stay focused. Namaste and Jai Hind.